Hi, I'm Mark, and I've recently started playing the recorder. I went to buy one and soon realised that there were many different types, and I didn't know which one to get. I tried to find some videos online explaining the different types, and I had to watch several things that weren't really helpful at all and read quite a bit. Wikipedia always helped, but was a bit vague, really. Now I know myself what the differences are between all the different models and fingerings and such. I thought I'd film my own video, so if anybody else ever wanted to ask the question, what's the difference between all these recorders, this video could answer it. So, my first real thing I had to do was decide which size recorder to get, because they come in different sizes. And that choice was easy for me to begin with. Even though you can see over here I've got lots of different sizes. I started off with this instrument, which is a soprano recorder, or a descant recorder. Just different countries give it different names. Here in the UK it's a descant recorder, but most other countries will call it a soprano recorder. So here it is, and the reason I chose this one to begin with was because I played this size at primary school, so I thought I'd be able to get along with it easier, which I did. But I decided on size and then realised there was two different fingerings of the recorder. The way the holes are set out is slightly different, and it means that you play it in a slightly different way. You can't play that recorder and that recorder the same because they're different. There is a Baroque style fingering, Baroque or English, whichever, same thing, Baroque and English, or German, and these are totally different. So you either have the Baroque or English fingerings or German fingerings, and the differences are simple, really. The Baroque style fingering is what the recorder always used to be. Back in the Baroque era, in the Renaissance, in the Baroque, in the Classical, all the way to now, is what the recorder's been. It's been that Baroque fingering. But some bright spark, I'm assuming from Germany, hence German fingering, had a go at adapting the recorder and making it slightly different. And what the German fingering does is make it slightly easier to play in the key of C. It doesn't make it easier for every other key. In fact, it makes it more difficult. And if you want to play in other keys, it makes it not quite in tune. There are issues with the German fingering. But if you just want to play in C and you want to learn really quickly, the German fingering will be fine, just to get you going. But if you want to do any kind of advanced playing, or even intermediate playing, really, you want a Baroque fingering instrument, which I recommend. I wouldn't recommend buying a German one. The whole point of the German one is it's easier. It's not. This is definitely as easy to learn, the Baroque fingering. So I'd stick at it and do the Baroque, because it's not harder. So there we go, Baroque fingering and soprano size recorder. This instrument is in C, as are all the soprano and descant instruments. I'm not very good, but I'll just give you a little tune so you can hear how it sounds. So that's the soprano or descant recorder. This one is a Yamaha. Brand-wise, I had no idea what I was doing, what I was looking for. So I did a little bit of research, and first of all realised I wanted a plastic instrument, not a wooden instrument. The reason for this is certain wooden instruments take, well, all wooden instruments take like a playing in time. So for the first few weeks you can only play it for 5 minutes at a time, or else it'll get too wet and won't work anymore. And then a few weeks after that, you can play for 10 minutes, and a few weeks after that, you can play for 15 minutes. And that's no good. If you're learning an instrument, you want to sit down and be able to play for an hour or more if you're going over something and trying to get it right. You don't want to be limited to 5 minutes play a day. And the wooden ones take a lot more looking after. So for my starting up purposes as a beginner plastic recorder, I won't be getting a wooden recorder unless I get quite good at it, because they are expensive as well. So, and you can't go wrong with the plastic one. You can clean them, just put them in the dishwasher. So they're easy to maintain. Right, so that's the soprano descant recorder. Next, I shall show you the alto recorder. Alto or treble recorder. But first, I'd just like to point out that all these recorders I'm showing you, and all recorders, are fully chromatic. So that means they play all notes, all of the 12 musical notes. There are only 12. Some instruments, like Irish tin whistles, that kind of thing, only play in certain keys. So if you've got an instrument that's in C, you can't play in D. You have to buy another tin whistle that's in the key of D. And some instruments are in certain scales, so the tin whistle in D will be in the D major scale, but there's some instruments that are in the pentatonic scale or some other crazy things. Recorders are fully chromatic. That means you can play anything on a recorder, so don't worry about that. Unfortunately, I'm probably going over my time for YouTube allowance, so I'm going to have to split this video into 2 parts. So this is the end of part 1. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do carry on and have a look at part 2, which, if I'm fancy, I'll put a link to here. And if I'm not fancy, there won't have been a link there, but find it in the description or somewhere. So the second part of the video, I'll go on to show you the other instruments and the different things that they can do. Thanks for watching part 1. Be sure to check out part 2.